Have you ever looked at your family and thought, this doesn't feel like home? Or searched for love, only to find it slipping through your fingers like sand? What if I told you, none of this is an accident? Your soul chose this path, every heartbreak, every struggle, every moment of longing, orchestrated before you took your first breath. This isn't fate. This is divine design. You are here because your soul craved growth. The parents you were born to, the siblings who shaped you, the lovers who shattered your heart, they were handpicked by you. Not for suffering, but for awakening. Every relationship is a mirror, reflecting the parts of you that still need healing. And today we pull back the curtain on how and why your soul selects its next life. If you're ready to uncover the hidden contracts that bind you to the people in your life, stay with me. This isn't just a video, it's a revelation. And if you're craving deeper truths like this, don't forget to subscribe. We drop life-changing content every week, and you won't want to miss what's coming. The Soul's Blueprint. Why you chose your family. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine standing in a realm beyond time, where your soul reviews 1,000 possible lives. Here, you are not a victim of circumstance. You are the architect. Your parents? Not random strangers, but energetic doorways carefully selected to deliver the exact lessons your soul needs. This may sound radical, especially if your childhood was marked by pain or abandonment. But from the soul's perspective, family is not about comfort. It's about evolution. A soul seeking courage might choose a distant father, forcing it to find strength within. A soul healing from past life betrayal may incarnate into a family rife with distrust, to relearn the power of vulnerability. These choices are not cruel, they are precise. Your parents' emotional patterns, their unresolved traumas, even their silent wounds, become the classroom for your growth. Science now confirms what ancient mystics always knew. Epigenetics proves we inherit more than genes. We absorb our parents' fears, their coping mechanisms, their unfinished stories. This is not a flaw in the system. It is the system itself, a sacred curriculum written by your soul. The invisible contract, soul agreements before birth. Before you took your first breath, you sat at a cosmic roundtable. Soul guides, ancestors, and even your future family members gathered to map out your journey. These weren't casual negotiations. They were sacred contracts, etched into the fabric of your destiny. Think of it like this. Your soul doesn't just pick a family at random. It selects a specific energetic frequency, a vibrational match for the lessons you came to learn. If you needed to master self-worth, you might choose critical parents. If your soul sought to break generational cycles, you could incarnate into a lineage of addiction or silence. Every dynamic, no matter how painful, serves a higher purpose. And here's the most profound part. Your parents agreed to this too. Their souls signed the same contract, knowing their roles would challenge them just as deeply. This is why healing family wounds doesn't just free you, it liberates them. The moment you shift, the entire lineage shifts with you. The soul's selection process, how your next life is chosen. Between lifetimes, your soul exists in a realm of pure potential. A space where past, present, and future merge into a single tapestry of meaning. Here, you don't just passively receive a new life assignment. You actively participate in designing it, weighing countless possibilities like a master weaver choosing threads for a grand design. Ancient mystics called this the interlife, a sacred pause where souls review past incarnations and plan future ones with startling precision. Spiritual councils, ancestors, and higher guides assist in this process, but the ultimate decision maker is always your soul. It examines potential parents like an architect studying blueprints, searching for the exact combination of challenges and gifts needed for its next evolutionary leap. The selection criteria might surprise you. Your soul doesn't prioritize wealth, status, or even happiness in the conventional sense. It seeks resonance, the perfect energetic match for its unfolding journey. A soul working through themes of abandonment might choose parents who will leave emotionally or physically. A spirit mastering sovereignty could select a domineering father figure. These choices aren't punishments. They're precision tools for awakening. Karmic architects. Why your soul chooses challenging family dynamics. The greatest spiritual paradox? Your soul often chooses its greatest obstacles as its most powerful catalysts. That abusive parent? The emotionally distant caregiver? The sibling rivalry that shaped your deepest wounds? These weren't cosmic mistakes. They were deliberate selections by a part of you that sees beyond temporary pain to eternal growth. Consider this. A diamond only forms under extreme pressure. In the same way, your soul voluntarily places itself in challenging family systems because it knows these conditions create the necessary friction for transformation. A soul carrying past life guilt might choose a critical mother to learn self-acceptance. Finally, a spirit who was overly dependent in previous incarnations may select a neglectful father to cultivate inner resilience. The painful truth? Your higher self doesn't measure success by comfort, but by consciousness gained. That family member who triggers you most? They're actually holding up a mirror to your soul's unfinished business. Their role in your life was negotiated before birth with one sacred purpose: to help you remember who you truly are beyond all conditioning and trauma. Soulmates versus karmic partners. Decoding your love contracts. That electric pull toward someone? The relationship that shattered you, then transformed you? These aren't random encounters. They're divine appointments your soul scheduled long before you met. Romantic connections fall into two powerful categories: soulmates who nurture your growth and karmic partners who accelerate it through friction. Soulmates feel like coming home, an effortless recognition that transcends logic. You've likely shared multiple lifetimes, evolving together in different roles. But don't mistake them for perfect partners. Their purpose isn't to make you comfortable, but to reflect your highest potential back to you. They're the ones who challenge you to love deeper, forgive more completely, and break cycles you didn't even realize were chains. Karmic partners, meanwhile, are spiritual sandpaper. Relationships so intense they sand away your illusions. The toxic ex? The unavailable lover? These connections replay ancient patterns so you can finally change the ending. Your soul chose these painful bonds not to punish you, but because it knew sometimes we need to touch the fire to remember we're made of light. Twin flames, the soul's ultimate mirror. When twin flames meet, the universe itself seems to pause. This isn't merely romance. It's a spiritual event of seismic proportions. Twin flames represent two halves of the same soul essence, separated across dimensions and reunited only when both have done enough individual work. The connection is instant, overwhelming, and often terrifying in its intensity. But here's what most misunderstand. Twin flame unions aren't about happily ever after. They're about alchemy. The magnetic pull between twin flames forces both to confront every unhealed wound, every buried fear, every hidden shadow. The separation phases? Just as important as the reunions. Your soul designed this dance of coming together and pulling apart to burn away all that no longer serves your highest evolution. The fire between twin flames doesn't destroy, it refines. They trigger you not to hurt you, but because their very existence demands you become the most authentic version of yourself. This is why twin flame journeys often feel like both a blessing and a curse. Your soul knew you needed this exact crucible to remember your divine nature. Ancestral healing. How your soul chooses generational karma. Your birth family is more than a random genetic lottery. It's a deliberate selection of ancestral patterns your soul chose to transform. When you incarnate into a lineage, you don't just inherit physical traits. You take on the unfinished business of generations. That depression, addiction, or financial struggle running through your family tree. Your soul saw these patterns and said, "This is where I'm needed." You are the generational alchemist in your bloodline. The abuse cycles you break, the silence you give voice to, the trauma you transform. This isn't just personal healing. You're completing what your ancestors couldn't and clearing a path for those yet to come. Your soul volunteered for this mission knowing the weight you'd carry, but also recognizing the power you hold to change energetic trajectories centuries in the making. When you heal yourself, you don't just liberate your soul. You send ripples of transformation both backwards through time to your ancestors and forward to future generations. This is the sacred responsibility and privilege of your incarnation. The soul's exit strategy, why we leave families behind. That unshakable urge to distance yourself from certain family members? The relationships that naturally fade despite blood ties? This isn't abandonment, it's divine timing. Your soul enters family systems to complete specific contracts, and when those lessons are mastered, the energetic bonds begin to dissolve. Some connections are meant to last a lifetime, while others serve only as temporary containers for your growth. That estranged parent, the sibling you no longer speak to, these separations are often written into the soul contract itself. Your higher self knows when a relationship has fulfilled its purpose, even if your human heart struggles to let go. This is why forced family reconciliation often fails. You cannot override a completed soul agreement. The most profound act of love may sometimes be walking away, not from anger, but from the quiet recognition that you've each given what the other's soul required. In these cases, absence becomes the final gift, creating space for both parties to continue their journeys unencumbered. Reclaiming your sovereignty. How to work with your soul's contracts. Now comes the most important question. If your soul chose these challenging relationships, are you doomed to repeat their patterns forever? Absolutely not. The moment you become conscious of these contracts, you gain the power to renegotiate them from a place of wisdom. Start by seeing your family and past partners as soul allies rather than adversaries. Every conflict, every wound, every moment of tension was part of a sacred curriculum your higher self designed. The key is to shift from blaming to thanking these mirrors for their service in your evolution. Try this powerful reframe. I honor the lessons you brought me, but I now choose to learn through love rather than pain. Practical steps for reclaiming your power. Meditate on your pre-birth soul agreements. Ask for clarity about why you chose specific people. Write a letter of gratitude and release to those who challenge you most. When triggered, ask, what is this relationship trying to teach me? Create new conscious contracts through prayer or intention. I now attract relationships that reflect my worth. Remember, you are both the student and the architect of your soul's journey. The moment you take responsibility for your contracts is the moment you graduate from their limitations. The ultimate revelation, your soul's master plan. After all these revelations, here's the truth that will set you free. You are not a passive player in your life story. You are its co-author with the divine. Every family member, every lover, every heartbreak was handpicked by the wisest, most ancient part of yourself. The part that sees beyond time and knows exactly what your eternal spirit needs to remember its power. This is why judgment has no place in the soul's journey. That parent who failed you? They were playing their agreed role perfectly. That relationship that shattered you? It cracked you open exactly as planned. From the higher perspective, there are no mistakes, only sacred setups for your awakening. As we close, I want you to try this. Place your hand on your heart and say, I trust my soul's choices. Every person was a doorway. Every pain was an initiation. I am exactly where I'm meant to be, growing, evolving, remembering. If this revelation resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe because we drop life-changing content every week that will help you navigate your soul's journey with more clarity and power. Because here's the final secret. The moment you fully embrace that you chose this life for your soul's growth, that it is the moment your greatest healing begins.